My name is Nicki. I'm an English makeup artist and I live with Carlo and our daughter Sky in Positano, Italy. Our house is far from the road but surrounded by fruit trees and olive groves, and we grow our own food. We'll show you what it's really like to live on the Amalfi coast. Subscribe and welcome to the Positano Diaries. Good morning. Me and Carl are going to make the most of it today and we're going to go for a walk. We're going to go up in the mountain somewhere. So he's just in the Salumeria getting some sandwiches. Should be out any second now, and we're going to head off up towards Nochelle and higher, I think.
Hello.
Hello. You always do the shopping with a helmet on.
No, ho fatto I panini. Ho fatto lo stesso col casco in testa.
Sì, hai il casco in testa.
Madonna.
He doesn't even realise he's got his helmet on his head.
Andiamo. Let's go.
Decided we're going to climb up to the cross above Nochelle. I haven't been up there for almost 3 years, and then from there we're going to try and find the Via Paipo, which is an old road that they started building from Agerola, which is the other side of the mountain, and it was going to connect with Nochelle, but they never finished it. So we're going to go try and find it. And obviously there's going to be lots of amazing views for the rest of the day.
Ciao, buongiorno.
Tutto a posto, guarda!
No, perché hai visto un materiale là, mi sa che stai scendendo a basso.
No, c'è mo non stai caricando.
Ah, facci la pizza! Io non ero accorto che tenevo tutta questa truppa. Hello?
Oli fa la brava.
Ma quanti ce n'ha?
Prendi Oli.
No, il treno si vuole vedere.
Okay.
Non lo calcolo.
So I didn't expect to see the goats, but now Carlo's just bumped into some other people. I think we're going to have more of an alternative day than I expected.
Arrivo bici. E sei una guarda.
Possiamo fare anche noi?
Scusa, lo possiamo fare là. Questo succede nei paesi piccoli, dove tutti quanti ci conosciamo e iniziamo a parlare e perdiamo ore chiacchierando.
And you never get to where you're planning on going. But it's fun.
Sì, è divertente.
Sì.
E questo è quello che dico, uscire una giornata, vedi persone, chiacchieri, stai bene, in pace con gli altri anche. Dobbiamo arrivare lassù, dov'è la croce? Allora, quella punta lassù è dove stiamo andando. Sembra vicino, ma non lo è. E questo è da dove siamo venuti. Non lo so se si vede bene, ma è laggiù.
And now we're coming off the trail. And we're going to climb up this rock face. Not all the way up to the very top like that. There is a pathway. Follow the red blobs on the rocks.
Adesso fa come, alza le braccia e fa come Rocky. Non c'è niente da dire, la più brava tra noi è Holly.
If you've got keen eyes, you might be wondering what this cable is up in the middle of the mountains way above the village. Well, we'll get up there at some point, but it is part of a pulley system to bring wood down the mountain for the for cows, for the animals. Wood? Animals don't eat wood.
queste frasche qua, vedi?
Ah, okay. It is for people to go up into the woods and get branches and leaves for the animals to eat, and it's got like a cable car system, so it's got like a basket and it brings everything back down to the village again.
Sì, non è fatto per la legna da ardere perché il cavo è troppo sottile per mantenere una cosa pesante.
Yeah, it's quite a thin one, so nothing heavy can go in it, so we can't get a lift in it. Ideally, we'd had one of these going from our house down to the road in Positano, but we're not allowed. Because you are only allowed to have one of these systems if it doesn't pass over anybody's property. If it passes over a property, you're not allowed it. So we can't have one. So this is where that wire finishes. It goes all the way down into town. I don't think it's being used anymore. This is an old goat pen, built into a sort of semi-cave here. It's got an overhang, so it would have kept them fairly dry. I don't think it's being used anymore. And this is a classic Italian feature, the gate with no fence around it. These are everywhere in Italy. It's obviously just to mark out where the entrance of the property is, but I think it's hilarious that there's an actual gate and you can just walk around the side of it. So from now on, the pathway completely changes from rocky Mediterranean mountain brush to thick mossy woodland, and I love it. Reminds me of England. Look at that moss.
L'altra volta, quando siamo saliti alla croce, poi non abbiamo fatto questa strada qua per scendere, siamo andati dall'altra parte.
Sì, sì.
Oggi non lo facciamo forse.
Vediamo, era lungo, eh?
Era molto lungo, ma anche qua comunque molto... E poi comunque il motorino rimane qua, quindi dobbiamo scendere forza di qua.
Are we too slow for you? Are we too slow for you?
Stavo dicendo che poi i vaccini di tipo virale non funzionano. Prendono la persona che ha preso l'influenza.
There used to be water here. I remember it dripping down and gathering into little pools at the bottom, but it's dry now. Never do what I just did. Never climb steps going because it shows how old you are. Be quiet instead.
Davvero difficile arrampicarsi qua. Oh my god. E la pezzi?
Excited. Do you want a drink? Do you want a drink? Ho dimenticato la ciotola.
Ciotola, ah. La strada va su là.
I want to go over here. There's a weird place over here. It scares me a bit when I'm on my own. Come with me.
C'è una grotta lì davanti.
Non lo so. Secondo me c'è il posto delle capre là. Ho vedo tutte pestate.
Ok.
Yes, this is the pathway più alto, no? The high pathway of the gods. Takes you right up over the landslide or the rockfall, and you can go all the way to the Caserma Forestale, which is that little shepherd's hut that I went to a few weeks ago, and Santa Maria di Castello, the village on top of the mountain. But we're not going that way for now. We're going up this way towards the cross, and I think we're nearly there. Last time I came up here, there was snow on the ground up in this part. So if you're scared of heights, look away now. I'll tell you when you can look back again. Okay. And if you're going to do this hike, where the gap in the railing is where the cross is. So you turn into there and then just very carefully go down. And as usual, when I go into a hike, it's freaking cloudy. Well, it's cloudy, but you can still pretty much get an idea.
Fra poco meno di un anno sarà il 60° anniversario che hanno messo questa croce.
You bought Grisbees? They're for car trips. We're not in the car. No, 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 no. Not for Holly. There's Holly snacks in the front pocket of the bag. Now what?
Allora, vuoi continuare?
Sì, un po' sì.
Andiamo più avanti, no? Troppo presto per fermarsi a pranzare. What time is it?
5 to 12.
Ok.
What time did we start? Che l'abbiamo iniziato alle 11.
Alright.
So yeah, it's just taken an hour to climb up here, which really isn't bad at all. It's not as bad as I remembered it to be.
È una canzone di chiesa. La riconosci?
No.
Oh Santa Vergine.
Andiamo. Perché non hai messo questo? Andiamo. And the clouds have just parted on the other side, so now you can see towards Praiano.
Senti la campana di Praiano?
Sì.
È il fuso orario, no? Prima una, poi un'altra.
I've just remembered that I don't actually like this pathway because the drop here is horrifying. And I really do not feel safe.
Beh, che vuoi che sia?
It's like we're in a little bubble with no clouds, but all around us there are clouds.
That's amazing. It's such a beautiful view. Amore, aspettami. Non lasciarmi da solo. Wow.
This is where the goats used to be.
Spesso facendo vedere qua su. Ah, certo che se guardi su ti viene la voglia di scappare via e di non passare qua sotto. Probabilmente vengono qua quando piove, no?
Sì.
Così sono al riparo dalla pioggia.
Very quiet up here. There's no wind, there's no birds, no traffic, no people. Yeah, we've definitely arrived up at cloud level. What a shame. We'll carry on for a little bit. If it gets really bad, we might as well turn around and go back again because we're not going to see anything. It's not cold. Didn't remember it being this long. It's much further than we thought. Doesn't feel at all like I'm in the mountains above Positano now. All of these ferns. Who knew? Oh, there's a signpost here. Nochelle, Sentiero dei Dei, Montepituso, Positano. Campo dei Galli. Campo dei Galli? And there's a pathway going up here. I'm not really sure where that leads to. And then this is the way to Paipo. And it's now 1:45, so it's taken another 45 minutes and we have arrived at Via Paipo. Who would have thought there was a road all the way up here? Now the only thing that I'm worried about is last time we came up on this road there was a very big, very angry, scary sheepdog. I think it was much further away from here, but...
Wow, guarda quanto lega.
Wow. Amazing. All the way up the top here. What a shame you can't see the view. And this road goes all the way to... Dove va? A Gerona?
Sì, questo dove c'è, sì. Resta giù.
Somebody's having lunch in his truck. Carlo is asking about the dog, whether they've seen it.
Lui ha detto praticamente che se andiamo un po' più giù qua, tipo altri 20 minuti di cammino, poi troviamo l'incrocio con l'altro sentiero che da Positano, da Nochelle va a Bomerano.
Sentiero dei Dei?
Sì, sentiero dei Dei, esattamente.
Ok.
Ok? Però non arriva a Bomerano, non devo arrivare a Bomerano, dobbiamo fare questo... è un altro sentiero.
Ok, proviamo.
Proviamo, se no possiamo sempre tornare indietro, no?
And after about 5 minutes walk, the road turns into asphalt. And this is where we ended up last time when we drove up here on our scooter.
Non sembra uno di quei turisti tedeschi proprio.
No, non passi per un tedesco. And we have come across the first house. There's a very old, dilapidated house here. And then the other half of it is all new. We are going to stop and have lunch at this little Madonna, little statue here. This is actually a viewpoint. I've got photos of us here, so I'll show you what this looks like when it's not foggy.
Allora, io ho fatto 3 panini.
3.
Sì. Melenzane, auricchio dolce e olive. Questo qua invece è diviso a metà, è salame, sempre melenzane e auricchio.
And the view is just starting to open up a bit. We might be lucky.
Vedi la spiaggia di Fornillo?
San Daniele tiene una cappella grossa.
I can guarantee you, anywhere we go, he will find somebody to talk to.
Là è il primo comune, da fare prima non permesso per tre sì.
Ci sta per a casa?
Vabbè,
Ma non va a croce.
No, ci state con casino proprio.
È occasione.
So the plan is, the guys that we met that had the mules that were sitting in their little truck back there, they had told us about a pathway that we could take from just over here, going down, and that would connect us to Nochelle. We weren't sure whether we could find the beginning of it. There was 2 or 3 places where it could have started, but there's no signs for it, so we weren't sure about that. We've just flagged this guy down here as he was driving past and asked him, and he said it's not worth risking doing those pathways. They're not very safe. So our options are to either walk back the way we came, or he has offered to give us a lift to the main square of Bomerano, where we can pick up the pathway of the gods and walk back to Nochelle on the pathway of the gods, which I think is quite a nice idea.
A me vengono dubbi, no?
We're getting a lift and we're going to do the pathway of the gods.
Che provole con i pomaroli, l'uva, e se pressate, salame.
It's a homage to the typical products made and sold in this town. So we've got apples and donuts and bread, the salamis hanging off the back. I've been corrected. These are not donuts, they are tarelli. They're little dried biscuit things that don't taste of anything. Donuts are much nicer.
Non sono donut, mi dispiace. Dai, sì.
And to get onto the pathway of the gods, you just go straight down here. We are right at the beginning of the pathway of the gods now. Hopefully it will take us about 2 hours to get back to Nochelle, I should think. These old little houses built into the rocks here are fascinating. Holly, leave the horses. We're just passing by Antonio the shepherd's house and his goats are everywhere. They're all across the pathway. Che pensi, dobbiamo legare Holly?
No.
No?
Che problema c'è?
Ti ricordi in Inghilterra?
Che è successo?
With the cervi?
No.
Woo!
Tu. No, Holly. Holly.
Uh-oh. Oh dear.
Oh my god. They're bouncing.
Oh god, we're never going to see her again. And now she's coming back without the deer. Come on! You funny thing, did you catch them? So we started in Nochelle here, we walked up to the cross, which is there, and then we carried on, we went all the way around, up until we were somewhere up behind there, where we got a lift, and now we've still got to walk all the way back along here, around this big valley here, and back into Nochelle before the sun sets in an hour. It's a little bit Blair Witchy here. There are hundreds and hundreds of stone towers in the middle of nowhere. Finally arrived back at Nochelle. We only planned to walk up to the cross and back again. We've probably done about 3 times that, so we're pretty tired. We now are going to go home. I can't wait for tea and cake. Andiamo.
Andiamo.
It's for people to go up into the woods and get branches and leaves for the animals to eat, and it's got like a cable car system, so it's got like a basket.
Fogliame degli alberi.
Everything.
in inglese, non mi trovo.